Welcome to the Crawlcast. I'm your host, George Krawczak, and this is what happened at WWE Crown Jewel 2025. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Now let's get started. The first match is Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns, and the winner was Bronson Reed. So in this match, it was Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns in an Australian street fight, and Bronson Reed won. So at the beginning, Bronson was heavily booed. And it was actually crazy because when you look at the crowd, every single person in the building had a John Cena shirt on. So Roman completely dominated this match pretty much all the way through. And then there was some crowd brawling, and Roman honestly just needs to work on his throwing. So they had like a rugby football, and he tried throwing it, and it was absolutely terrible. He threw it at Bronson Reed, he threw it at Paul Heyman, and then there was a second time where he went back to throw it at Paul Heyman again, and just completely hit the ropes, and it looked terrible. He is probably the worst quarterback in WWE history, and he also threw a prime bottle at Bronson Reed and completely missed. So Roman hit a really nice Samoan drop, threw a steel chair onto Bronson Reed, and then Braun Breaker got involved and speared Roman. So they also put Roman through the table with the Shield triple powerbomb, the two of them, the two Brauns. And once the Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker started dominating Roman, that's when the Usos got involved and they took out the Vision. Jay accidentally speared Roman through the table, through a table set up in the corner, and then Bronson Reed hit the Tsunami for a win. So it was cool that Bronson Reed got the win, but it kind of felt insignificant because Roman dominated the entire match, and so it's okay, so yes, you got the win, you kind of cheated, and you needed help from Jey Uso by accident. So, even though you're trying to be built up as one of, the big muscle guys, kind of like Braun Breaker, he's clearly the future world champion of WWE. And so they're trying to build Bronson Reed on that level, but he kind of got destroyed by Roman the entire time. And then the big news of this match is Jey Uso did not turn heel. He accidentally speared Roman. So obviously this is setting up a heel turn, but I thought he would have done that in this match, but he didn't. So like I said, he was trying to spear, I believe, Braun Breaker. Braun moved out of the way, and he speared Roman. So overall, this is also just further sowing the seeds of a Jey Uso heel turn, which would be kind of interesting. I kind of hope he doesn't feud with Roman because we've had all this bloodline Jey Uso and Roman Reigns feud before, and I don't know how many people are interested in another Jey Uso and Roman Reigns match. Overall, it was just kind of an okay match. It did what it needed to do, but nothing special. So the next match is Stephanie Vakir versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, and Stephanie Vakir won. So overall, this was just kind of a fine match. It's weird, it felt like they didn't really have great chemistry, and the crowd just wasn't into this match at all. So there was one moment where Tiffany was going for a Swanton Bomb, and Stephanie had her knees up, but her knees went directly to the back of Tiffany's head. It looked pretty bad. Luckily, Tiffany finished the match, so I assume she's probably fine, but it did not look good. And then at the end, Stephanie hit a corkscrew moonsault, her new finisher, for the win. Again, like I said, people weren't really into this match. I don't think anything special happened, and it was kind of funny, they're treating these Crown Jewel belts as such a big deal, but no one really cares about them. They're nothing special. I guarantee you we're not going to see these belts again on TV because look what happened last year. Cody won and Liv Morgan won, and we never heard about them winning ever again until this pay-per-view. So we're going to completely ignore Seth and Stephanie winning until next year's pay-per-view. So I don't know, just nothing much happened. It was a fine match. It was just kind of there, to be honest. The next match is John Cena versus AJ Styles, and John Cena won. So this match is just full of references to both John Cena and AJ Styles' careers. I believe I wrote down almost all of them, at least the ones I noticed. There's certainly possible, ones that I didn't notice. So, AJ came out in his TNA gear, which was just kind of interesting, but it does look a little bit odd because he's so much older now. Because I was trying to think about it in my head, I'm like, when did he leave TNA? I think he left around 2014-ish, But then he was also wearing pants then because he was kind of in his like wolf pack, like lone wolf AJ Styles, because that's when he transitioned to pants. So I think it's been about 2012 was the last time he wore those like type of shorts. So it just felt really weird, but it was cool seeing him wearing his TNA gear after 13 years. So here so basically keep in mind it's a John Cena match. So it was basically just finisher spamming. So they did mention how AJ Styles was the leader of the Bullet Club in Japan, and I think that was unscripted because John Cena gave the ring announcer a like little piece of paper to introduce AJ Styles with, and AJ started laughing during it, so it seemed like that was unscripted. So okay, here are the list of moves and like the references that I got. So John Cena hit the skull crushing finale as a reference to The Miz. He also hit the accolade, like locked AJ in the accolade for Rusev. Styles hit the Scorpion Death Drop for Sting. He also hit the locked in the Coquina Clutch on Cena for Samoa Joe. Cena then hit the Walls of Jericho, obviously reference to Chris Jericho. And then it kind of sucks because the crowd, when Cena was putting up his big moves, everyone got it. But when AJ Styles did, not a lot of people did. Because I get it, TNA's not as popular as WWE. But so then John Cena hit the Sister Abigail in reference to Bray Wyatt. AJ Styles hit the Angel's Wings in reference to Christopher Daniels. And then AJ Styles hit like a pile driver on Cena. And I know that's in reference to somebody. I cannot think of it top of my head. Like I feel like I know who it is. It just wasn't coming to me. So let me know in the comments if you know who that was referenced to. And then Cena hit like Randy Orton's middle rope DDT and an RKO, and obviously reference to Randy Orton. And then John Cena hit a choke slam. I think that's reference to Kane. All the commentary was saying it was a reference to The Undertaker, but I think it was more likely a reference to Kane because, number one, I think Kane is more synonymous with the choke slam than The Undertaker is. And Cena has had way more matches with Kane than he's had with The Undertaker. Like, in terms of feuds and rivalry, Kane is much bigger like opponent for Cena than The Undertaker was. So I think that was a reference to Kane and not The Undertaker. And then AJ Styles hit Sweet Chin Music in reference to Shawn Michaels. And then Cena hit a Tombstone Piledriver in reference to The Undertaker. And then at the end, John Cena hit an A for the win. Like, overall, it's a fine match. I enjoyed the references. Like, I get it. It's cool, but it's not a match, to be honest with you. Like, it's just spamming finishers. And like I said, the references are cool, but it's just not a match. So it's just not for me. I don't really like it, but this is just what Cena is now at this point, where like he was never the greatest wrestler, and now that he's significantly older and kind of less athletic, and quite frankly, I think he's also just trying to get through his final run, not getting injured, just kind of going through the motions a little bit. But this is what Cena matches are. So I think it was good for what it was, and this is what his next, I think, 3 matches are, because he has 4 appearances. 2 Raw appearances, Survivor Series, and his final match. I think Survivor Series, he's definitely wrestling. I think one of his Raw matches, or one of his Raw appearances, he'll probably wrestle on Raw. And then one of the Raw matches will probably just kind of promote his final match. So, again, overall, it was fine. It's just what it was. Nothing really significant. The next match is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. And Rhea Ripley and Io Sky won. So, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. Overall, this match was actually really, really good, but it just kind of felt like bad timing. So first off, the crowd was super burnt out from the Cena-AJ match, which I get. And then it also kind of felt like the story of this match was Io Sky versus Asuka because they have like the Japanese connection and all that, and they're former friends, and then Asuka turned on Io. But the crowd really was into Rhea because this is her hometown. So it's kind of like the match is about a person that the crowd doesn't prefer because the crowd was more into Rhea than anyone else, and she kind of felt like the odd man out where, you have the 3 Japanese wrestlers who, 2 of them turned on Io, or Kairi Sane and Asuka turned on Io, so they all have a connection there, and then Rhea Ripley's just kind of there, but Rhea Ripley's the most important person in this match because it's her hometown, so it just felt like weird timing, but this match was really good because Io Sky is the best wrestler in the company. I dare say best wrestler on the planet. She's just so good. All her matches are phenomenal, really, really good. So overall, just really good. The Kabuki Warriors had great like tag team chemistry and great in-ring psychology. And then Rhea hit the Riptide and Io hit the moonsault for the win. And again, it was a good match because all four of these women are really, really good. It was just kind of both weird timing and bad placement, but you just didn't want to follow that match. But there really couldn't have been a match to follow. The main event was Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the Crown Jewel Championship, and the winner is Seth Rollins. So Cody versus Seth. This was actually a really good match. So the story of the match is Seth kind of losing his confidence, where he's concerned that he can't win matches on his own anymore, and he's also concerned that he can't beat Cody. So at one point, Seth grabs like his watch that Cody gave him, and he put it in. He was going to use it, and then he decided not to, so he put it kind of like in the corner of the ring. And then in the match, he hit a coast to coast headbutt, which was really, really nice. And then he also hit a Spanish fly on Cody. And then there was one moment where Cody hit a crossroads off the top rope. That was so good. I don't think I've seen that before. That was just really, really insane. And quite frankly, that should have been the finish. That was such a good move, such a great crossroads. That should have been the finish right there. I hate that they kind of wasted such a great spot just kind of on a match where it was just like a 2 count and Seth was going to win, but that was just really good. And then Rollins grabbed the watch, hit Cody in the face, hit Cody with a stomp, and then hit Cody with another stomp from the top rope and won. So overall, this was a pretty good match. It was really shocking because I was just sitting there waiting for interference, and it just didn't come. And overall, like, this kind of event was nothing significant, nothing happened, no titles changes, nothing. Like, you further cement the Jey Uso heel turn, but other than that, like I said, kind of nothing happened. I expected major setups for War Games. Like, I thought there was going to be major interference in the Cody Seth match. Like, I thought Randy might get involved. There might be the Vision. You could have Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso. I thought it was just going to be a big blowout match with tons and tons of interference, but like I said, shockingly nothing. And then, overall, like I said, it was a fine event where nothing much happened. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What matches you liked, what matches you don't, which wrestlers you like, which wrestlers you don't. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money, and I'll see you on the next one.